Welcome to the first of a new series basically aimed at beginners. It's Farming Sim 15 Naked. No, I'm not going to be naked doing it, but naked in this case is, and I'll show you, mods. No mods, only the DLCs. So that's all we got. So it's no cosplay, no steering wheel, keyboard and mouse only. So we're going to go through the game bit by bit and hopefully give it a few tips. Well, the first thing you got is the game. It's the setup. There's my nickname in there, my multiplayer language and colours. That's not important. Automatic help I got on. That's the F1 menu. Measuring units miles because I'm British. Money unit pounds, but you can have dollar or euros. I'm going to stick to pounds because I understand pounds. Dirt, you can put that on off, slow, normal, fast, and that's the amount of dirt that the equipment picks up during the course of play. Rear mirrors on or off. I'm going to put them on. Traffic, I normally have that off, but for this I'm going to put back on again. Just remember to turn it off when I go back to do my other stuff. I normally have it switched off because I use a lot of course play and such like that tends to get in the way. Right, next screen is to set your graphics. Your hardware profile. I can play very high, but if I play very high when I'm recording, it just messes up a bit. My screen resolution, that's my native resolution, 1920 by 1080 16:9, but you've got a whole bunch here. I'll go back to what we know what to run at. Anti-aliasing on max, anisotropic filtering also on max, FreeSync is on, adaptive FreeSync on, and wind and mode off. I'm not going to bother to benchmark it, I'll just save that. And that's just because I made an alteration. If you make an alteration you need to save again. Right, let's back up again. That's the career, don't need that. We'll just have a look for the rest. Miscellaneous. Steering wheel, gamepad. Well, I use a steering wheel normally, so I leave that on. I've got automatic help on the keyboard. Gamepad I'm not using, so I'm not worried about the dead zone. But the word is, if you are using the gamepad, set your dead zone quite high. Mouse sensitivity is 100%, which I'm going to leave. I don't want the inverted y-axis, so I'm leaving that off. This one is the volume for the in-game sound. Because I record, I have it as low as I can, but with some sound. If I have it on too high, it just won't. You won't hear me. Stop cheering at the back. Controls. This sets up all the controls for the tools and that. Well, I'm going to leave that standard. Not going to touch that because I have a whole lot of mods on other save games here, so I don't want to play around with that. With that, we will go to career, and just need to remember which one to play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this save game 8 here. I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to use this as my current save game. And you have 3 levels of difficulty. Easy, which gives you a lot of money, very little debt, and everything is worth a lot more when you sell it. Normal, a little bit more debt, a little bit less when you sell things, and a little bit less stuff in stock. Hard, nothing in stock. You have only £50,000 you can borrow from the bank, out of a total allowed of 200,000. The other 150,000 is debt you have to pay off. Nothing in stock at all, and your prices are low. That's what I normally play on hard, but for this I'm going to play on normal so we get a little bit more of a move on. So I'm going to pick normal. Now you have your choice of maps. But Bornholm or Westbridge Hills. Westbridge Hills is an American style map. Bornholm is Scandinavian. I haven't played as much on Bornholm as I have on Westbridge Hills, so I'm going to pick Bornholm. Now we just hit start, and now the game will load in, the map will load in. It will take a few minutes. It always does, so and the more mods you've got, the longer it takes, but some players out mods, this shouldn't be too bad. It's just all the bits and pieces here to help out. Career and farming offers a lot of activities, and you're free to do whatever interests you most, from agricultural to animal husbandry. To forestry, your options are plentiful. Earn enough cash and you can spend your farm and buy additional fields, machinery and livestock. If you work hard, you'll soon become Barnholm's most valued supplier of natural goods. Now we start. I'm not going to do the tour, but I would suggest if it's the first time you played, you do the tour. But I'm not going to bother with that on this. But we will have all the keys I'm going to mention are PC. I don't know what the console options are, I'm afraid. It will probably tell you up in the corner. If you look up at the top left hand corner, you'll see the help screen up. On PC, 9 gives you the map, which is what we look at now. And this is the one problem not having course play on. I can't use my little pointer. But if you look where we are, we own two fields, 24 and 29. But if you go down towards the southeast, there's 38 we also own. They're all the fields we own for the start of. The rest we have to buy. If they've got green writing on, we own them. Now let's turn that off again. Movement is WASD or not arrow keys. Arrow keys look you up, down, left, right. So you need if you're playing PC, it's W for forward, S for back, A for left, D for right. Quite simple. That's what you're walking. If you press shift at the same time, you run. So we start with one field ready to harvest. This is wheat. So we will just start that E to get into the combine. Then it's W to go forward, S to go back, and but we need to just put the header on first. If you look down in the bottom, right hand corner, you'll see a little symbol there, and that's your connect, and that's done with a Q key. Now I know what's happened here. I've still got my joystick connected. I'll just disconnect that, because that should stop it from running off on its own. That's better. Alright, we'll just start this off. Now, first of all, you need to open on the unfold the house. It says which is the X key, making certain that you highlighted the main body of the combine, which is changed with G. If you look down the bottom right hand corner, you can see how it changes one to the other. Right, we will have the straw swath on, because at the start straw is quite handy to sell. So we turn the harvester on, hit B, and to turn it off, hit B again. Then we turn it on. C takes you into first person through inside the vehicle. Now we do one strip up there, then I'll send the hard helper on. And look, you cannot go too fast because this won't allow you to go too fast. Let me just do one up here, then I'm going to turn it round, put hard helper on. We'll have a look what equipment you start with, just to chat about that a little bit. And right, that's the first bit done. And if depending on how realistic you want to pull out, if you want to play it fairly realistic, you will lift the header between passes which are turning around. Now we'll just line this up and I'll just shove the hard helper on. It's the only automation you have is hard helper, and that's not on everything. Take it outside so we can see where we are. Just move them over a bit. And right, H starts a hard helper off. And finally lined it up fairly well. We should get most of the things. And the progress, not me. E will jump you outside the combine. And whilst it's doing that, we have a quick look at the starting equipment. For that you need the P key, which brings up this, this is the shop screen, and if you go forward there's the mods. Now the only mods you got is the New Holland wheel load, the latest DLCs, and New Holland telehandler. But we go back, shouldn't have done that. Back to the P again. This time we're going to go on to garage. Highlight that. This shows you what you actually have to start with. First thing you notice, you have two Hurleymans. Now Hurleymans are low powered. Do not try and cultivate plough with these. They just will not do it very well. Just having a drink. You also have two Dutes Fars. Now they're better. You can cultivate plough, seeds, whatever with those. So they're your workhorses. The only problem is with these, especially if you play on hard, you will need to check this figure, the maintenance. That's how much money goes out per day, per implement. So with two of these, you've got £920 going out every day, no matter what. Whether you're making money or not, that will go. These 270. Not a lot you can do about it first, but I would suggest selling off one of the Hurleymans. You don't need 4 tractors to start with. Yeah, combine is a sample Rossaloo. Very nice combine for its size. Far better than we got with FS13. It cuts, these little symbols here show what it cuts. That's wheat, that's barley, that's rape, also in game known as canola. I know it's rape. This is maize, known in game as corn, but game in British I know it's maize. But to cut maize you do need a separate header. This header up here, this one here, will not cut it. As you see, it's wheat, barley and rape only. This costs you £480 a day, no matter what. It has a capacity there of 4,200 litres. Plenty of power for what you need for it. That's the header for it. It's 4.2 metres wide, which means that's from there to there. It's the cut width. And we'll just look at some of the other stuff. Right, you get your trailer is a small Brantner, very perfectly okay to start off with, and it carts just about everything you're going to want a cart for a start off. Without mods, there's not a lot else there you need. The only problem with that is a bit on the small side. But you have to watch out for one little thing. I'll just show you. This spout on the sample and the smallest New Holland, it's not very high, so you can't get a high trailer under. So for a start you're stuck with this, or let me just show you, or this, the AgriLiner. The big problem with AgriLiner, it's a dolly trailer. They are a very devil to reverse. None of these will fit under the first two combines. And until you get up, so we can find it. There we are. It isn't until you get up to the case, and you can see there, that'll be a time, £235,000, that you have a high spout, and you can take about any trailer in game, and most of the modern trailers. We won't bother with those yet. And the biggest For maps like Bornholm, you don't need anything much bigger than this. With its header, which is this one, which is a 35 foot. Excuse me one moment. Or 10.5 metre. You don't need anything bigger than that. So we go back to the garage. A cultivator, this for preparing the field. If you haven't got a direct drill seeder, depends how realistic you want to play it. If you want to play it realistic, you will use this to plough. Yeah, I've got a bit of a tickle at the moment. But really, if you play it just to make the money and to see what else is there, the plough can be sold, and the plough can be sold early on. You don't need it. It's not necessary until you get into the modded scene. The cultivator, once you've got this seeder, is needed. This is not a direct drill seeder. And you want to look to all these implements. They need 100 horsepower. Now, as we already found out, that only has 90 horsepower. It will pull it, but it will pull it in all sorts of directions, except straight. This is far better for anything that needs a bit of power. It's a big difference between Farming Sim 15 and Farming Sim 2013. 2013 it didn't matter, the power wasn't really taken into account. In this version it certainly is. Your seeder will seed wheat, rape, barley, grass, maize and sugar beet. It won't do potatoes, and I loathe those mods, seeded mods which do potatoes and all, but it's very unrealistic. I personally like playing fairly realistic, but that's the type of person I am. And the last thing you're given is some weights. Weights help to keep the front end down on a tractor when you plough and cultivate and seed, or even with just a trailer on. And you get 2 of these 700 kilo ones and 1 of the 1 ton weights. That's all the stuff you start with, so we get rid of that, and we'll just have a look at some of the other stuff. One thing you will want is a fertilizer spreader. You don't get one for a start off, so we're just all I'm doing now is using the tab key to tab between the vehicles. We need this one will do the carton, but as you know it's not hooked up to the trailer, so we just hook up and it's Q key, it's hooked. One thing to watch out for on these, there's low and high hitches. Some tractors, especially the real powerful ones, will only hook up to 3-point and come up as low or high hitch. So it's not a problem with the game, it's realism. And here we have another one of your fields. This is field 38, which is the one out of the way, which they're set up ready to cultivate. So cultivation is basically just raking the field before you start. Well, I'm going to put this on hard help. I'm going to use hard help a lot. So we check we're lined up, which already lined you up. Press H. Beware of hard help does take money out of your account. And you notice this one's got a weight on the front, and it's actually got the ton weight on the front. It will need it. And the last one is the seed. There's one field ready to seed, so we might as well do that. Again, we will hook up to this, we'll hop inside, and this is where you fill up a seed. If you look up at the help screen, that white square up on the top left, at the bottom it says refill sower, which is R. So we'll just fill it up, and we have to decide then what we're going to put in there. I think we'll put some barley in. Oh, changes the seed in there. So we've got it set for barley, so we'll know. No, we might as well go up this way. And, your plough, you can see, is there. You already know that this, I'm noticing that this is slightly light at the front end. It's only a 700 kilo, only a 700 since I couldn't lift it, but a 700 kilo weight on it. So we're going to line this up, and we're going to have this also go with hard help. So we just line him up. Choose hard help, you line it with what you want, make certain that any unfolding is done what needs to be done. And you've got what you want in there, and just press H, and it will now happily go and seed this field. When it gets to the end, it will automatically detect this edge of the field, turn around and come back down again and carry on until it's done. And look at the last. This tractor we need to sell, but we also need to get a fertilizer spreader. No, I'm not certain, and I would suggest that you mainly use the dry ones. They're easy to use, don't get hooked up against things, trees and what have you at the edge of the field, and a better spread actually. Well, we need 14,600. We haven't got that, so what we will do is hop out of this, and around here somewhere is the it's a bank. Now this little series has been done on behalf of PCSG.net .uk, sorry, PC-SG.uk, which is the new simming site where we do all sims, and we're trying to do a series of help videos for new players. BP has gone through things in a lot more detail than I shall, and I decided I'd start a farm from scratch and just play it without any mods and try and explain what I was doing at the time. BP is a famous bipolar prophet, very nice chap, and explains things very well indeed. Alright, we're at the bank here. You can pick this up on PCs, it's the insert key, but you can also go to one of the cash points, press R, and as you see we allowed 200,000 as our total loan. We could actually take another 100,000. What we're going to do, we're going to borrow enough to buy that and have a little bit left over. Remember, all these debts have got to be paid, and you do get charged interest on these. So we run back to our... You can actually buy things wherever you are. If you press the P, sort of what you want, and we buy the Amazon fertilizer spreader. Simple as that. I'm just trying to remember where I am now. Ah, here we are. Oh, and this little area here is where you sell equipment. You get a bit more money if you park it in here and go here, press R and sell. Should really have a weight on for this, but as the weight is back the other end. And then you notice as soon as you jump in the tractor, it starts up. No, we're on the wrong side up. Let's just tell it. You see these little question marks all over the place. They are helpful hints. And we just level this up. And we take this back to the farm, drop it off, then bring the tractor back here and sell it. We don't need it. And that one would probably be the full lot for today. Just gonna jump inside. I find it easy to drive inside. Now, excuse me if I'm not very good at driving, but it's a long time since I drove with the keyboard. Now you have to keep an eye open. Traffic, get across there. You've got your little map in the bottom left hand corner. That will show you what's immediately around your roads, fields, what have you. And this is we're just going to take this back, drop it off, and take the tractor back to the shop, and that sell it, empty off the combine. That will probably be it for the day. I'll drop this off here. And, whoa! Luckily you don't take any damage, and that's what that maintenance cost is. That's for damage and breakdowns that you'd to really pay for those. Just drop that off, which is key again. I'm just going to check around all these full, so we're just show you the unload. Of course he's got his spout in the crop. In real life you wouldn't do this, but actually if you're paying more attention than I am, you'd try and empty him regularly as he's going down the field with these so your spout is on the cut side, and the little black rectangle down on the bottom right shows you what you're loading up, how much you load up, what percentage of it you're loading, and also what fuel you got and what speed you're doing. Just moving out of the way. You don't have to give it going until it's finished. Just check through, this one's doing okay, he's doing okay. One thing to watch, if you're seeding using hard help, when he runs out he will carry on, and but he will be charging you for the seed an extra amount on top of his normal hard. So just be careful you do this auto. Alright, now we're going to take this back to the shop and sell it. We don't, as I say, we don't need 3 tractors. It's overkill for a farm this size with only 3 fields. Sorry, it's only 4 tractors. So we just take this back. And remember to stop at the bottom here. I'm so used to not having traffic that I might well go out. Well, there's another major difference between this and 13, apart from the fact this looks better than 13 now it did. The traffic now, if you hit it, let's see if we can find one of the provers. So, nothing coming this way is when you want it. But if you hit a vehicle now, you bounce back, that don't. On 13 you hit them and they went flying. No, we'll just park this in it now. I'll show you what you would have got. If you look at this garage, it's worth 18,500. That's if you do it anywhere else, but if you do it here, it's worth 22,200. Well worth the extra little bit of effort of taking it back. I think you'd agree. So we just hit sell. It's gone, and the money's gone in the bank. So what we're going to do, I'm going to just press insert and repay some of that debt off again. We have about 12,000 to play with, and we're back where we started. Sell on that. It's actually bought our fertilizer spreader. Just tab back, and he's just come to the end. Our empty mold, and I'll just show you where we tip the stuff, and that should be around half an hour then. Which I think is more than enough for anybody to take me. This will be a series I'll be putting out in between doing my other videos. Now to put this pipe out manually, press O. And whatever you do, do not, I don't know if it's still a bug, but there was one, if you tried to close the combine up was grinding it, you couldn't reopen it. So rather risk that, just don't do it. There we go, he's emptying out. And I'm gonna, next time I will buy a forage wagon and we will actually sell off this straw, which will give you a bit more money. I'm just gonna take this back first. Now we'll just close the forward to harvester. She knows a little flap at the top. Some of the others have even more animation. And we'll just put this up. It's already getting a little bit dirty. There's some dirt on the tyres and on the cutter. Actually, Giants have done very well on the dirt textures on these. On the in-game stuff. It looks very good indeed, and it also looks quite realistic where they get dirty first. Alright, we'll just leave him there. We just drop the header to the ground. You don't tend to leave them up in the air like that. And we're now going to just sell this off. Get in. Alright, let's turn around here. And this is not selling, this is storage, by the way. We get the forage harvester and do a little bit of forage work and also selling work next time. I'm going to hop out and see what's happening there. Right, we come over the grid. As you notice, bottom right hand corner, the tip sign has come up, and if you got your help screen up, it shows you unload, which is cool. And that brings up a point. You say that it's the same key as you use to connect and disconnect tools. It is, but when you're in this position, you cannot remove trailers that over a tip. And that just tells you the silo. We'll just park him up here for now. And I think that's the first part of this. He's just about finished. He's about halfway through cultivating this field. He's getting on. What I will do is stop it here, and I will, when we come back, we won't be any further forward. I'm not doing anything to this off screen. If you want to save on the PC again, just press escape, and you've got save game. It will tell you saving content, please don't turn off. It's saved. Now you might have noticed a little arrow at the top here, and this is the timescale setting. And what we're going to do is I'm going to set that back to real time for now. Mission frequency. I don't tend to do missions, but I better go through that at some point. Plant growth is on normal. Plant withering is on. It says if that's in the ground too long and you haven't harvested after it's ripe to harvest, it will go bad. You can't do anything with it. This is your sound volume, same as before, and this help icons, the map, icons on the map, automatic help, and your gamepad that swap your wire axis, which we don't bother. So I'm going to quit here, and I'm going to say thank you for watching, and I hope this has been a little bit of a help. Cheerio for now.